Joe Montana on College Football Live, in which he was quoted as saying, "If I were the Niners, I would have taken Mac Jones. Nothing against Trey Lance, but Jones is more pro-style offense, more used to being in tough situations, pressure situations. Nothing against Trey." How about that coming up on College Football Live? The producer was like, "All right, enough college questions. Hey guys, let's get Joe. Let's get Joe on an NFL topic, please, and we'll go ahead and tweet that out."
I do think in a college football show, you can always talk about like the rookie quarterbacks from sweet schools. Like if I went on College Football Live and within the first 5 minutes of something, Mac Jones or Justin Fields comes up, like we can talk it and it can be pretty smoothly. So, and Mac is a pretty just famous college player based on last year, national champion. I mean, hell, he almost won the Heisman. It was basically between him and his teammate. I do wonder if Joe sees a little of himself in Mac Jones.
I got to think that's a part of this, right? But, I mean, now he might be – nothing
Who Wally
is
pipped
decided.
him? You know, Trey Lance, right? That version of runaround guy. He probably hates runaround quarterbacks.
And who does Steve Young like?
Trey Lance. So, if you're Joe Montana, you're not pounding the table for Lamar Jackson types. You saw every day like, oh, I don't give a shit this guy can run. Think how many times people told him, oh, this guy's more athletic than you, Joe. He's going to take your job.
Yep. And
Joe's like,
but throwing the football in with accuracy is the most important part of the job, right? He's thinking about what Bill Walsh told him. Throw a catchable football, throw it in front of the guy, or hit him in the hands, whatever Bill Walsh's quote was. But that's probably a part of it. And here's the other thing about this, is this competition, or whatever we want to call it, between all these rookie quarterbacks, is going to play itself out. It has not been predetermined that Mac Jones doesn't turn out to be better than Justin Fields and Trey Lance and Zach Wilson. Hell, maybe even Trevor Lawrence. Their careers are in front of them.
It's happened before, right? With a guy like Trevor Lawrence not living up to the hype. Probably more often than not. There's been a lot more Trevor Lawrences that turn out shitty than Peyton Mannings that turn out to be Peyton Manning. Because the top 10 quarterbacks still include Elway, Marino, right? Steve Young, who am I missing? Favre, like this. I mean, all these guys haven't been bumped by. We've had fucking quarterbacks drafted every year for 25 years.
Yeah, Steve came in the league in the 80s.
And Brady
and he feels like a.
I know, and Brady was a 6th-round pick. So a lot of first-round picks are not just a lock.
Yeah, a 6th-round pick a long time ago.
21 years ago.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't. Joe's not nuts. Now, I think what we always remember with these things is how it turns out is different than how it feels on draft day, and there's a value element to it, right? Like if the Patriots could do it over again, would they draft Tom Brady first overall? No, they got him in the 6th round. You wouldn't draft him in the 2nd round or the 1st round. You'd take him in the 6th round. But the value of the day, right? What the ceiling was, part of it is, well, what was Mac Jones's comp? People are like, oh, it could be Brady. It's like, all right, I'm going to need another comp.
Who was Cousins?
Yeah, or Pennington or whatever. Actually, his arm's better than Pennington's. But here's the thing. Even if his comp is Cousins, he's actually not Kirk Cousins.
He's a better athlete.
He's McCorkle. I'm just saying he's McCorkle Jones. He's Mac Jones. He's not Kirk Cousins. And we talked about this the other day on the high end for Trey Lance. If he's really good, no one's going to be like, yeah, but he's not as good as Josh Allen. If Josh Allen's a top 3 quarterback or a top 2 quarterback and Trey Lance is the 6th best quarterback in the NFL, you go, he's a really good player. He's his own person. That's good enough.
But sometimes this, like if Trevor Lawrence had gone to the 49ers, is Trevor Lawrence playing better than if he had gone to the Jags? Of course. I was thinking about this the other day. Drake London shattered his ankle, right? And he's out for the year. And who knows, like the timetable, the combine really isn't that far away, right? It's 3 months. Like I'm sure he's not going to be able to run. He's going to be, by the time he's drafted, more than likely, if let's just say, I'm just going to pick a number, he would have been the 9th pick in this NFL draft. He might now go 21st, just because they're healthier players. You just feel more confident. He might fall a little bit. Do you know what's going to happen? He's going to go to a way sweeter team. It's like all of a sudden he's on the Colts, or he's on the Titans, or he's on the fucking, I was going to say the 49ers, but the Miami Dolphins have their pick. There are some teams with double picks.
The Colts are 3-5. They might be drafted a little higher than you think.
Well, and the Eagles have their picks. So that's the problem this year. A lot of teams gave away their picks. But you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes going at pick for Mac, he got to go to Bill Belichick. But if he ended up on the Bucs, he wouldn't have played, right? Kyle Trask.
No. I'm saying Drake London could end up on the Bucs.
That would be crazy, but it feels like, yeah. Who knows? I mean, he still might end up going 15. But even if you go 15, sometimes you just end up on just a much more stable team. Like that might be the Chargers, right? What if they just let Mike Williams walk in free agency and draft Drake London? Boom. So it's like Drake London, Keenan Allen, Herbert. You're like, hey, Drake London, it sucks probably going from the 7th pick to the 17th pick, but it could change your life.
Right.
If Trevor Lawrence fails, I do think a lot of people will blame the Jags.
Yeah. It'll be like the way we used to talk about the Browns.
It happened in the NBA a lot, right? Like, I was drafted by the Kings. Fuck, who knows?
Yeah.
Or the Pistons or whoever.
But unlike a lot of the people the Kings have drafted, everybody would have drafted Trevor Lawrence number 1.
Every single human alive.
So, not everybody would have drafted Trey. Not everybody would have drafted Zach. Not everybody would have drafted Max. Some people would have drafted Fields.
Yeah. I think there was he was number 1 on every board. They can say Zach Wilson. I do not believe it. If you were drafting one, you're going to take Zach Wilson over Trevor Lawrence. I would be. It's easy to say when you're drafting like 28th, be like, yeah, we had Zach Wilson above him. Like, okay, yeah. What would have happened if I put you at 1? You're going to take Zach Wilson? I'll bet my ass you won't.
Right.
So
here's what I know. The second that the Patriots drafted Mac Jones, everybody, us included, went, oh.
But he was also, like, a lot of people thought that he was, could go there, right?
Yes, I'm just saying the second it happened, you went, well, maybe he's got a shot to just be solid.
He's better than I thought he would be, even as a rookie. But he looks in the realm of what I expected him to become.
And what he has been this year is not where the discussion was never about what does he look like halfway through his first season. It's, in the end, can he be what Trey Lance could be, what Justin Fields could be?
One thing I would have said this in April, and it's wrong, is I would have said I would have rather just traded a 2 for Sam Darnold than trade up and get Mac Jones. Or even if you would have said, well, you get Mac Jones at 12, I'd be like, I'd rather trade the second for Sam Darnold and take a player at 12.
Yeah.
I would have been wrong on that. I would rather have Mac Jones than Sam Darnold.
Right. You absolutely would.
He's better today than Sam Darnold is 4 years into his career.